Juha was playing a musical instrument, placing his finger on one of its frets and striking the strings with a feather without lifting his finger from the fret, producing a single loud sound. People gathered around him and said, "Oh, Juha, what kind of playing is this? Why don't you move your fingers along the frets to create beautiful melodies?" Juha replied, "You are not experts in this art. Those who move their fingers between the frets are looking for the main fret of the instrument, but I, as a music expert, know where the main fret is, and I place my hand exactly over that point." Juha climbed to the top of the mosque's minaret to call the Atan, call to prayer. A beggar from below the minaret shouted up to him, saying, "Come down quickly, I have an urgent matter to discuss with you." Juha descended the stairs, worried, and while coming down, he wondered what could be such an urgent and important matter. When Juha reached the bottom, he asked the beggar, "What do you want to say?" The beggar replied, "Nothing. I am poor. Give me a coin." Juha was very annoyed by the beggar's arrogance and responded, "You must come up with me." Juha then climbed the stairs, with the beggar following behind until they reached the top of the minaret. At the top, Juha asked the beggar, "What did you want?" The beggar replied, "A coin." Juha said, "But I don't have any money." The beggar was surprised and said to him, "Sir, if you don't have any money, why did you make me come all the way up here?" Juha answered, "Just as you made me come down." Juha filled his donkey's bag with pomegranates and went to sell them in the alleys and markets, loudly calling out, "Pomegranates! Fresh pomegranates! Pomegranates!" While Juha was shouting to sell the pomegranates, the donkey started braying. Juha was very annoyed and fell silent, waiting for the donkey to stop braying so he could resume shouting to sell the pomegranates. When the donkey stopped braying, Juha began shouting again. As soon as Juha started shouting, the donkey brayed once more. Frustrated, Juha lost hope in the donkey. He turned to the donkey angrily and said, "I want to know, who is trying to sell the pomegranates, me or you?" Juha received an invitation to a friend's house for lunch. When he entered, he saw that the guests' shoes were mixed together, and if he placed his new shoe among them, he might accidentally get it swapped. After thinking for a moment, he wrapped his shoe in a handkerchief and tied it around his waist, then sat at the table and started eating with the others. The person sitting next to Juha noticed that Juha had something tied around his waist and asked, "Excuse me, what is this thing you are tying around your waist?" Juha replied, "It's a book." The man asked again, "What kind of book is it, and what does it contain?" Juha answered, "It talks about caution." The man said, "That's nice. Who is the author of the book?" Juha replied, "A shoemaker." News reached Juha that his mother-in-law was washing clothes by the river when she slipped, fell into the water, and has not been found yet. Immediately, Juha went to the riverbank and began searching upstream, where the water comes from. They said to him, "Strange are your ways, Juha. Water doesn't carry anyone upstream. Perhaps it carried her downstream." Juha replied, "You don't know my mother-in-law well. I've lived with her for many years, and all her actions are the opposite. Surely if she fell into the river, she would go upstream." 3 well-known scholars in the world, in the presence of the king, claimed that no other scholar could match their virtues and knowledge. The king highly respected the scholars of his country. When he heard this claim from the 3 scholars, he decided to confront them with his own scholars. He issued a royal decree summoning several scholars of the land to the king's court. If they failed to answer the 3 questions, he would execute them. The soldiers brought some scholars to face the king, among them Juha, who had brought his donkey with him. One of the 3 scholars asked Juha, "Where is the center of the earth?" Juha replied, "Here." where the donkey's stable post is nailed. The scholar asked, "How can you prove that?" Juha said, "If you don't agree with that, then measure it to be sure." The scholar fell silent, compelled to do so. The second scholar asked Juha, "What is the number of stars in the sky?" Juha answered, "The same as the number of hairs on my donkey." The scholar questioned, "How can you prove that?" Juha replied, "If you don't believe it, then count them." The second scholar was convinced and sat down. The third scholar asked Juha, "How many hairs are on my chin?" Juha responded, "The same as the hairs on my donkey's tail." The scholar said, "That's not correct. My beard has more." Juha said, "That can be easily tested. We pluck a hair from the donkey's tail and a hair from your beard. We keep doing this until all hairs are pulled out, and then we'll know who is right." The third scholar also had to fall silent and sit down. The king was very pleased with Juha's answers and rewarded him generously. Juha's neighbor came to his house and said to him, "Excuse me, could you rent me your donkey for 2 or 3 days?" Juha replied, "I swear by your life, one of my friends took my donkey and hasn't returned it to me yet." Meanwhile, as soon as he heard Juha's voice, the donkey started braying in the stable. The neighbor said to Juha, "Bravo! So am I going to eat your donkey if I take it?" Juha responded, "What happened? If the donkey were here, I wouldn't refuse to give it to you." The neighbor said, "Here is the donkey in the stable. I hear its voice now. I don't know whether to believe you or believe the donkey's voice." Juha answered, "I didn't expect that from you. I'm surprised. With your age, how can you not believe my words? I am the old man with the white beard, and you believe the words of this foolish donkey." One winter day, Juha and his wife wanted to have some soup. They prepared a warm, delicious bowl of soup. The wife hurried and took a spoonful, but since the soup was very hot, tears streamed from her eyes. Juha asked her, "Why are you crying?" The wife evaded the question and replied, "I remembered that my mother loved soup very much. If she were alive, she would be eating soup with us." Juha said nothing and started eating the soup himself. He scooped a spoonful from the middle of the bowl and ate it, and tears began to flow from his eyes. The wife, mocking, smiled and asked Juha, "Why are you crying, my dear?" Juha replied, "I'm crying because your mother loved you very much and cared about you. Why didn't she take you with her?" One day, Juha was craving some grilled meat. He bought 3 kilograms of meat, took it home, and told his wife, "Prepare a delicious barbecue for us." Juha's wife grilled the meat and ate some with her friends. When Juha arrived home at noon, his wife placed rice in front of him, but there was no meat. Juha asked, "What happened to the meat?" His wife was unsure what to say, but her eyes fell on a cat licking the corner of the room. She told Juha, "The cat ate the meat." Juha said nothing. Instead, he took the scale, put the cat on one side, and a 3-kilogram stone on the other. He saw that the cat weighed exactly 3 kilograms, which surprised Juha. He said to his wife, "If this is a cat, then where is the meat? And if this is 3 kilograms of the meat I bought, then where is the cat?"